So good. If I had to name one of the most underrated players in all of Wargroove, like someone who could win a world championship, and like their name doesn't get mentioned nearly enough, it would be Zested. Zested is solid. All right, we got ourselves a game. We got ourselves a game. This is a fog match for Wargroove. In the red, playing Greenfinger, we have Zested. All right, and their opponent, of course, in the black is Timekey playing Vesper. Very nice. Oh, okay. This is an interesting map. We have a few aquatic features kind of blocking off territory here. We have a big aquatic area here, here, sort of in the middle of the map. And that sort of makes your home base over here kind of very well defended. Like, no one is ever going to be able to attack your two barracks. That's impossible. So you're going to get your barracks, your tower, your thieves' den. All of that is super safe. But your stronghold looks really kind of vulnerable. It's just really kind of vulnerable. You're going to have to deal with that somehow. Alright, so I put a 3-minute turn timer on this just to keep the game moving. I think that's a fun format for Fog. Each player has 3 minutes to take each turn. And we see the boat coming in. This boat is going to be super useful in the game to ferry your units kind of across. I wonder if Zested forgot to move their boat, because it didn't look ready to pick up that sword. But maybe Zested didn't want to move the boat. Maybe Zested was just like, no, I'm capturing this village first. I'll move the boat later. It's like a later problem. What's interesting is this village over here is actually impossible to capture. You can't get it. There's no way to get it other than building an air unit to fly one of your swords across the map and capture it. So when to do that, when to invest all the money to do that, is a big part of the opening stream. So speaking of the current game, both players are still capturing territory. This opening on this map, it's a little slower. But what they're doing is really important, because they're sort of deciding how their units will be positioned across the map, where their commanders will be. Right now, both players are opting to send their commanders across the top and bottom of the map, meaning they're not likely to meet. If the commanders never meet face-to-face, we're going to have an epic confrontation, not between the commanders, but between the commanders and the strongholds. Like, Zested is moving like this, and is going to come smack into Timekey's stronghold. Timekey is moving like this, and is going to smack into Zested's stronghold. So the fights are going to be over here and over here. It will kind of like, we're going to see the two fights sort of break in like that. Alright, so we see Timekey going for a much more aggressive boat strategy. They're picking up units right out of the barracks and flying them very deep into their territory. That looks like it's working for Timekey, because they captured these far villages much, much sooner than Zested did. I think Timekey might be opening a little bit better than Zested, given how much control they have over these contested villages so early on. If Timekey can get a really big gold advantage from that, we'll take a look at the income there, then it could mean that Timekey will be able to build more powerful units coming into the rest of the game. Alright, it's Zested's turn, and Zested has to capture at least 300 gold worth of villages in order to justify their position. So far, they're at 200. If they can get one more village, they're at least close to Timekey. They've got to get at least one more village. I think they'll be able to do it. This sword can capture a village. I think they'll be able to justify their position a little bit. I do think, though, that Timekey is a little bit ahead, just has a little bit more gold, a little bit of a better position, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. You can't see it right now because of the fog, but these villages are in Timekey's possession, so we're going to see the two players start to meet, start to interact, and see each other through the fog. One thing I've noticed is that Zested is building a lot of dog units. Dog units are really good because they allow you to see into your opponent's forests. Their sight range is 3, so within 3 spaces from the dog, all forests will be revealed. You can see this reef is like the sea version of a forest, and Timekey can see into it, and this one, because the dog is nearby. Most units, like this sword for example, they can't see into this forest unless they stand right next to it. Ah, perfect timing, it moved right next to it, that was nice. But when they're 2 squares away or more, even though their sight range is 2, they can't see into it, only dogs can do that. Timekey didn't build any dogs. There are 0 dogs on Timekey's side of the field. They've only been building foot soldiers. So Timekey is kind of saying, I won't be able to see anything, I'm running around the map blind, but hey, I've got a lot of gold. I'm rich and blind. What could go wrong? That's sort of Timekey's strategy, just being rich and blind. Whereas Zested is like, I have less money, but I have dogs. I guess post in chat whether you would like to be rich and blind or have little money but a lot of dogs. I don't know. I guess that's a bit of a tough... I don't know how we got to this point. I don't know how we got here. Anyway, I don't know where my mind goes sometimes. So, alright, Timekey has a bit of a decision right now. Do they want to heal their commander on this village or this village? They could have healed here and attacked this village. They chose not to do it. They're instead prioritizing moving their commander to the center of the map to start attacking as quickly as possible. Whereas Zested did not do that. Zested's like, no, I'm going to pick up this village and then heal next turn. I don't need to be in the center of the map right now. I'm just going to focus on, you know, slowly moving across the map. Zested also built a wagon, which is really strange on this map, because there isn't a lot of wagon-friendly terrain. Wagons can't move through mountains or forests or beach tiles, and they're really slow on plains. So it's an interesting choice building a wagon. It's an interesting choice. I don't know if Zested will be able to justify the wagon on this map. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Zested has a plan. The dogs are starting to come forward. That'll give Zested some really nice vision in the center of the map, and also some really nice attack power against Timekey's mostly sword army. Remember, dogs are super effective against swords, and a dog crit will one-shot a sword under normal circumstances. So Zested's army is a little bit better already than Timekey's, and they're not that far behind in gold. So I kind of want to say that I think Zested is doing pretty well. If I had to be one of these 2 players right now, I would rather be Zested, I think, even though their opening was a little slower. Well, you can overextend the dog. That's true. That's true. It is possible that the dog just runs too far and gets murked by the commander. That has happened. So if we take a look at the end of Zested's turn, Zested income is 1,100, and at the start of Timekey's turn, their income is 1,000. So, pretty good, pretty good. I don't like how Timekey handled this village. As you can see, their sword is not close enough to capture it. That's not great, whereas Zested has already captured this village. I feel like Timekey invested so much pressure into trying to get villages quickly, but just kind of missed out on this one over here for some reason. I don't know if that's worth it. Also, a big difference in their armies. We see Timekey bringing out the balloon, not the wagon, but the balloon, and building a mage for anti-air support. This is one of the weird things about Fog. Timekey doesn't know that Zested didn't build any air units, so this mage is not going to be as useful right away. In fact, it's a liability because Zested has all these dogs that can snipe the mage. Still, I think it'll be useful because with all these forests, it can get crits, it can keep Vesper healthy. I think it's a good long-term investment, and I think this balloon could potentially be better than the wagon in the long term, or at least the mid-term. Wagons can get really good in the endgame, but in the mid-term, the balloon's going to be a little better. Yeah, there's just no air units from Zested, so that mage has limited use, but it'll still be really, really good. Alright, so both players are going for completely different strategies, which I like this. They can't see what the other one is doing. They have no vision on each other yet. They haven't even seen a single unit of the other person. Boom! Look at that! Using the wagon to position a pike onto a mountain. Normally, it would be very hard for that pike to get on that mountain. So this is one of the good uses of the wagon, getting onto very defensive terrain. I like that. There's absolutely nothing nearby here, and the pike can't do anything, but it's still cool. And it's important to keep in mind that Zested can do that whenever they want to. Alright, Zested built a knight. That's going to be really powerful against Timekey's mage. Timekey really needs to start bringing in more powerful units. Oh, and an archer! That is a really, really heavy, long-term investment. That archer is going to be great in the end game, but completely useless until it slowly walks up the field. Or maybe uses a wagon to slingshot across the field? Potentially. Potentially. Also, there's a thief, right? There's a thief in this boat now. So Zested can steal from villages. And here we go! Here we go! Using the dog, Zested was able to see into this forest and realize the enemy was there. So they were able to be more careful with this sword, not overextend it, and just put it in the village. We're really seeing the value of this dog. However, if Zested can just snipe the dog, it's a bit unfortunate, and it might not be so great for Zested. We'll see if Timekey is able to snipe the dog. Either way, though, I really like Zested's army. It's going to take a while for this powerful knight and powerful archer, even with the wagon, to get to the front lines, but when it does, it's going to be amazing. However, Timekey has a lot of money. They finally grab this village. Oh, they don't see the dog! They don't see the dog. If Timekey uses the sword to scout... No! They still don't see the dog! Oh, wow! Timekey has no idea that that's there! Timekey has no idea what's over here. They're playing just very, very cautious, very, very safe, but they don't have enough vision because they didn't build their own dog yet. It's all the way over here. They built it too late, so they can't see what's happening. That's amazing. Oh, wow, I love this. We're seeing some core Fog play right now. These are the consequences of the decisions you make in Fog. Zested, like, put a pike on a mountain and has vision on all of this. Put, like, a dog over here and has vision on all of this. Timekey is blind, but they have so much money. And they're going to get even more because they built that balloon. They're going to grab this village way earlier than Zested. They've got the dog coming in. And now they can build whatever they want. They could build a dragon. They could build a giant. They could build double knights. They could do whatever they want now. But is it going to be enough? All right, we see a knight coming in. A little bit later than Zested's knight, but still. Pretty good. Now what do you build over here? I have no idea. I don't know what Zested is going to do. They have a lot of options. They could be thinking about maybe building an archer and ballooning it over. They could build another knight. Always good. They could go thief plus another mage. Because they don't know that Zested has 0 air. Alright, double knight. They went double knight. So they're just going for rapid expansion now. Rapid power. Let's take some villages. Let's threaten the stronghold. Raiders, go. Meanwhile, Zested is like just slowly building a powerful army with different units. You've got wagon, pike, knight, archer, a big diversity of units. And that's what you see a lot of the top players do. You'll see Zeronix do this, you'll see Sequoia do this. Go for the early wagon, get an archer as soon as you can, sort of build a lot of different kinds of units, and then slowly gain like an advantage somewhere. Right now, it looks like that advantage is here. We see the dog scouting ahead. Alright. This is one of the iffy things about Fog and why Fog can't be competitive, because if Timekey was paying attention, they would have seen like a flash of red go past this village, right? A flash of red. If they weren't paying attention, they have no idea that a dog's in that forest, and they just missed it, you know? It's really tricky. That's one of the wonky things about Fog. You really gotta watch. And listen, so now Zested knows that there's a village here, can only see a sword nearby, but doesn't know if anything's in this forest or not. There could be, you know, a commander in that forest, for all Zested knows. Zested has no idea. So they're just building up forces here and getting ready to take... Oh, excuse me. Getting ready to take these two villages. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay, so, slight mistake here. The wagon should have been here, so that the archer could climb into it next turn. That would have been better. It's just going to cost the wagon a little bit of movement now, but that's okay. That's okay, that's fine. So, Zested is going to be able to flip these 2 villages and just gain a whole lot. Oh! And now, using the dog, again, to scout, Zested can flip these villages too. Zested is just going to steal all of Timekey's money. Like, that's the thing. Timekey had this great opening, but they backed off. They were afraid, they backed off. Greenfinger tanks a little bit of damage, and the sword flips it! The sword flips it. Now, because Timekey captured this village, they're going to be okay, but this is really bad. This is really bad. Zested is just stealing all of Timekey's money now, and is just going to snowball and win the game. I don't know, can Timekey get back from this? It's still pretty even. To be clear, this turn, it's still very even. Both players have very even economy. Timekey still has more money. Like, Timekey is still rich. Remember, Timekey is rich but blind. But they just lost this village. Yeah, Zested is really showing why building dogs was valuable and why scouting was valuable. Okay, Timekey just discovered... Oh, they're attacking me here. Why did I move Zested here? Sorry, why did I move my commander into this weird beach? Maybe that wasn't the right decision. And then now Timekey has to react, reposition. Like, do you attack into this? Do you keep going for the stronghold? Like, we might see Timekey give up all their villages and try to sneak their way into the stronghold. That's possible. But they can't let Zested just hold on to their village forever. That's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Okay, wow. Timekey is ignoring the threat. Timekey is completely ignoring the threat to their villages, and they're sort of holding territory that's not under attack. I don't know why they're playing like this. Maybe they just don't have a good sense of where Zested is. But these 3 units won't be able to hold off Zested's hordes. These units are doing nothing. And Timekey is repositioning way too defensively. Like, Zested is all the way over here. There's nothing over here. They're defending nothing. Timekey is defending nothing right now. I don't know what they're doing. I have no explanation for this behavior. They're defending nothing. I think Timekey just doesn't realize where the enemy is. They're buried deep in the fog. This is one of those things about fog. You really have to have a good sense of it. Zested scouts perfectly located. I can attack this. I can attack this. Wow. Really good scouting from Zested. We're seeing the difference. We are seeing the difference, for sure. Alright, Timekey builds a Harpy. A little bit weird. I don't know why Timekey would want a Harpy. I feel like they got all this gold, but they're not building, like, the powerhouses, like the dragons, and even Night Spam would be fine at this stage, just going Night Spam, but they're not doing it. And now Zested is slowly climbing back on economy. If Zested can hold this village, they'll have evened out the economy difference. It's pretty big. Alright, so right now Zested's turn is basically a game of greed, right? How greedy can I get? Do I want to risk flipping this village? Is there, like, an enemy over here? Should I attack into this? Should I attack this? It's a game of greed. Zested is playing a game of greed now. How greedy can I get? I don't know what kind of narrative I'm writing here, but, like, I didn't have a lot of money, used dogs to steal money? I don't know. That's a weird story. I'm gonna stop trying to pretend it's a story. It's a game of Wargroove. So, what does Zested do now? Zested finally built a mage. Finally anticipating, okay, by now, I'm sure Timekey has some air units. I really need that mage. I like the timing of this mage very much, because it was... You notice how Timekey built the mage very early, and then I didn't do anything useful. Zested was like, I'm gonna wait until the last possible moment, build a mage, put it in a balloon, and then send it wherever I see flying things. That's perfect. That's perfect. Like, they waited until the last moment to build that mage. Very good. I don't know what emoji Timekey posted there. I don't understand emoji speak. Maybe someone can explain what that means to me. Again, I just love what Zested is doing. This is really solid. And they didn't... This village can just be flipped by swords. Like, Zested might not even flip it. Zested might save it for the thief to steal. We could see that happen too. This knight is planning to crit this village. That's the beauty of Zested's strategy. They can flip this village, or they can ignore it and flip it next turn, which could be even better. And you notice how repositioning the dog here gives vision of this forest, and then the sword here protects the dog? All of this is so well done. Oh, it's an unhappy emoji. Right. Yeah, I think Timekey is realizing that their position is not ideal. Like, look at this beautiful play. The knight is set up to crit this village. The thief is set up to steal this village. This is not attackable. Even if you had knights, it would be devastating to try to attack into this. You'd have to reveal this. Hold on a sec, the camera moved. You'd have to reveal this with the dog, hit it from two sides. By hitting it from two sides, you prevent your ability to hit this. Like, this is just an invincible formation made up of swords and dogs. It's so good. It's so good. Even though Timekey sees it, there's nothing they can do. And this knight is just doing nothing. Wow, this is devastating. This is devastating, but it's not over. There is a lot of counterplay. Remember, this is a fog game. There's always surprises and tricks. For example, Greenfinger could overextend or get trapped. Timekey could sneak the stronghold or perform an amazing flanking maneuver. There's still tactics here. There's a lot of tactics, and this game is far from over. Just look at how much money Timekey has. Timekey has a lot of money. They are not in danger of going broke. Boom! Look at that! Okay, this is the beginning of Timekey's counterattack, right? We see the commander going in on this village, trying to deny vision from Zested. If the village goes down, it can't see anymore, and then, you know, oh my goodness, where's Timekey's army? What are they doing? We have this sneaky knight. It's out of the vision range of everything. This knight could theoretically crit Timekey's knight. This knight could crit Timekey's knight. Timekey, what are you doing? I don't know. But, there's even counterplay for that. Like, Timekey could set up this knight to crit this knight, to counter-crit this knight, and win the knight fight, because Timekey just has more knights. That's what I was saying before. Knight spam would be a viable strategy here. Yeah, I don't know. We might see Timekey just abandon all of their villages and make an all-in attack on the stronghold. Oh yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, you've got an army here? I don't even want to know what that is. I'm going to attack your stronghold. Good luck, Zested. For all your strategy, you did not defend your stronghold. And it could be done. It could be done. This could be a winning play by Timekey just to take back the game right here. This is far from over. Like, just look at this. Look at this. There's a balloon waiting to take a pike, which will counter knights, right to the front and plop it on the front lines there. We could see Timekey, like, bring in an archer, too, if they really want to, or another mage, which would just shut down any air attack. Like, that would just make air not a thing. Harpy spam. The harpy spam is really weird. I don't know if I like it, because Timekey's going for a fast attack, and harpies are a little slower. But they're really good in fog because they're confusing to deal with. You need to have a mage where the harpies are, and you can't see the harpies, so you don't know where to put your mages. They can be a little wonky like that. Alright, so we see double pike coming out here. We're going to see double pikes get ballooned onto the battlefield. That'll be really, really good for dealing with Zested swords and dogs. And Timekey is in this fight. They are like, okay, yeah, you got me with those villages. Well played, Zested. But, you know, I'm coming for the win now. I'm gonna win. It doesn't matter what you have if I end the game. Now, Zested's commander is a little bit caught out. There isn't much of a threat on this stronghold, and There definitely isn't enough, because the mage didn't go into the balloon. There's definitely no anti-air here, so the harpies will be able to hold the stronghold indefinitely. Like, they're just invincible. They can protect the stronghold forever now. Zested now has to reposition and defend. And honestly, as long as Zested can defend, they probably have the advantage. Because if they, like, flip this village with a thief, that's going to be devastating. They have so much money right now without even capturing this village. Zested never captured this village, by the way. They just never did it. They don't want it. They don't want their villages. They want Timekey's villages. The village is just sweeter if you take it away from your opponent, I guess. That's how that's looking. Goodness. All right, so what does Zested do? I'm guessing Greenfinger's retreating, kind of repositioning more towards the center. Probably a good idea. We're probably going to see Timekey, like, bring in all of their units over here. This dog is scouting a little bit, sees some swords. Timekey's like, all right, do I want to send in this dog to attack, or do I want to save it? Do I want to flip this village, or what do I want to do? I'm guessing what Zested is going to do is steal this village, capture it, and then move the rest of the swords kind of to try to flank this army, try to defend against this incoming attack. Because really, this game will probably come down to this epic attack. If Timekey can take the stronghold, Timekey wins. If Zested can defend, Zested wins. If somebody gets their commander sniped, that person loses. That's sort of the game situation that we're playing right now. Let me take a breath. I've been narrating nonstop. Let me just take a little breath. Whew. It is hard to talk for that long. Even if you're excited. Wow. I didn't expect this. Zested backed off. Zested was like, you want my stronghold? Take it. I bet you can't. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's a bold move. Zested is fully allowing the attack on the stronghold. Building a dragon, but it can't reach. If Timekey goes for this right now, it might be possible. It might be possible. The problem is, I don't know if Timekey has enough vision to confidently do that. Zested is making a heavy bet right now. And the bet is this: I bet you won't. I bet you won't do it. I bet you won't go in. I bet you won't attack my stronghold. Go ahead. You won't. You won't do it. I think part of the problem is Zested did not have enough vision. Like, Zested could only see swords. They couldn't really tell that there was this full army bearing down on the stronghold. Whoa! Timekey goes in, crits a village, reveals the knight, gets a crit on the knight. This is devastating. This is devastating. I think Zested... Okay, yeah, they didn't go full on in, attack the stronghold with the commander, but they're denying all the villages around the area. This is huge. This is huge for Timekey. Despite the thief steal, despite the village knockdown, Timekey does have enough here, especially with that knight going down. Ooh, yeah, if it could have been finished, like, I think sacrificing the mage to finish that off might have been warranted. I'm not sure. The sword might have been the right move here. But that knight is now in severe trouble. Like, it's going to have to go back and heal at the very least. It would have been cool to take it out. Like, taking out that knight would have been devastating. I think, honestly, sacrificing the mage to take it out might have even been worth it at this point. Even with the dragon, as long as you brought in this mage. But I don't know. This was probably the safer call, the right call. Either way, there is now this devastating attack barreling down on the stronghold. And Timekey has vision of this space in front of the stronghold and realizes nothing is standing there. Right? We've got these knights that are just threatening all this damage. This commander that almost has groove, and it's Vesper. It is Vesper. You have to remember that this commander is Vesper. Greenfinger, Zested's commander, Greenfinger, only counters Vesper if Greenfinger is standing in front of Vesper, but that's not the case. Greenfinger got caught all the way over here stealing villages. Right? Now Zested sees what's going on. Now Zested sees, oh, wow, there's an army here. So the question becomes, can Zested defend in time? Greenfinger does not have Groove. Greenfinger is not going to get Groove before Vesper does. If Vesper gets Groove in front of the Stronghold, Vesper wins the game. Timekey is playing to win right now. Timekey is saying, hey, nice advantage you had there. It sure would be a shame if I won the game before you could use it. Meanwhile, Zested has a choice to make. Like, do they run these swords forward and try to take more villages? How much do they put on the defense here? Because, again, like, if Zested can defend, if they can defend, they'll probably win, but they have to defend. They have to defend, and they're not doing that right now. They're not defending sufficiently well. Greenfinger is so out of position. So out of position. I wonder if we're going to see this archer try to pick off one of the knights. That would be really powerful because the knights have limited healing options. But losing the archer would be devastating. Right? Losing the archer would be really, really hard. If that archer went down, if the wagon goes down right now, it'd take a long time to get another one all the way around. Like, and that's one of your best defenders. And it's the only way Greenfinger gets into the fight. Like, there's just so many issues here. But I do think that, like, one good move, for example, we could see, like, this go here, abut the wagon, and then try to snipe the knight behind it. And even if you take all that stuff out, then you're fighting over here, which will give Greenfinger time to go in and the dragon time to go in. I don't know. I think this is defensible. I think this is defensible, but it's a game. It's a game. Anyone could win this. This is a game where anyone could win. Zested has the economy. Zested has the map, effectively. But Timekey has the center. Timekey has the win condition. Timekey, like, used the fog really well, even though they were completely blind without any dogs. You gotta get your seeing eye dogs in fog, apparently. And just they're gonna take it. They're gonna take the game. This pike positioning, I find a little bit interesting. It's interesting because they just left it open for attack. But at the same time, it's good. Because you can't hit this dog, you can't kill this dog. It's on a mountain. Even if you did, you couldn't stand on that mountain. Right? I don't know. I think Zested got really good at these really annoying formations where it looks weak. It looks bad. It looks like you can just take it. But you can't. And if your commander stands on this road to hit the pike, you die to the dragon. So it's like, this is pretty solid. This is pretty solid. I don't know if this wall can be broken without an archer. And the one thing that Timekey did not do was bring in an archer or a dragon, either of which would be needed to break this wall. Timekey can't see the dragon, by the way. They can't see the dragon, and so they could accidentally break rule number 1 and stand on the road, which would be devastating. That would just be losing if that happened. All right, we see the knight crawling across the bottom. This knight is very versatile. It could join in the attack. It could threaten this village. It could do both at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's not critting this village, which I don't like. I mean, if you were going to put the knight here, why not just, you know, put it here and crit the village? That would have been better. But anyway. So Timekey can't see anything over here. Timekey doesn't know what's going on. Oh, they're backing up. They're backing up. That's not a bad decision. Honestly, that's not a bad decision. Like, it would be dangerous to attack into this without more information. And they did sort of force Zested off of this village. But again, if you were going to back up, the knight should have been here so it could crit this. Anyway, though, Timekey's got some harpies coming in. Those are going to be very, very useful for harassing, like, side lanes, for acting as walls, right? For baiting out mages. The harpies are going to be really good. And just healing up the knight. Yeah, I think Timekey is basically saying, look, you know, you took some of my villages, I took some of yours back, I crit one of your knight for 600 gold, that's got to be worth something. I did what I came to do. I'm not going to risk it right now. I'm not going to risk the win. I'm just going to back up, have a really strong, solid position, right? And I think this is a very mature play. I think this is a really good play by Timekey. Just sort of like, okay, you had an advantage. I needed to deal with that. I dealt with it. Now I'm going to play safe. Timekey has been playing a lot safer than Zested. I don't think they needed to back up this far, necessarily. And I think they need to start... Okay, yeah. There's the archer, finally. They realize they need an archer to break through things like that. They don't have any plans to retake this village, which they should do. It's basically undefended. This village is not flippable right now, unfortunately, because of the iffy knight positioning. Well, maybe, actually. Actually, I take that back, because this was just recently captured. So, maybe dog, knight, sword. It may be possible. Maybe possible. Alright, so Zested is in a weird position here. They're, like, sort of able to attack this, but they don't know what's here. And so they're not sure if they can attack this or not. They're going in! They're going in! And the interesting thing is this dog on the mountain has so much vision. Like, it can spot that pike. Oh, the dog crit! So nice. So nice. We see the dog crit on the sword. And the funny thing is, by this dog moving from this mountain to here, it still has vision on that pike in the forest. These dogs have been really useful for Zested. Like, it's funny how whenever it's Timekey's turn, we can't see Zested's army. Whenever it's Zested's turn, we can sort of see Timekey's army. I still don't know about this attack, though, because the only thing it accomplished was killing a few swords. And it's putting a lot of units in Timekey's range. But still, it's very, very powerful. Notice how this archer is defended by a commander, a knight, and that knight is protected by a wagon dog. So this archer's super safe, right? Super safe. You can't even see it, let alone attack it. It also puts the commander on a mountain, which gives tons of vision onto all of this, with the dogs, right? So there's so much vision. The dragons coming in. This is really, really powerful from Zested. We could just feel the power of this formation. And the knights being a little more cautious, you know, just taking this village, right? And Zested has so much gold every turn now. And this is the problem. Ultimately, this is the problem. Timekey really needed a decisive attack there in order to seize back the game. But they didn't get it. They backed off without attacking somewhere else. Like, if you're going to back off, you have to attack somewhere else. There are several things that Timekey could have done in that situation. One of them was attack to the north, try to reclaim these villages, threaten off Greenfinger. One of them was attack to the south, try to reclaim these villages, right? Still threaten the stronghold. Timekey just backed up into their own territory, and so they gave up all of their gains, and now Zested owns the map. Zested has 1, 2, 3 of Timekey's villages, missing one of their own, have almost reclaimed everything that they own, and they're just winning now. With this really powerful, scary formation. I mean, how would you even attack this? You know, you can't really one-shot a dog without dedicating a knight. But then you're sacrificing the knight, right? We see another dog go in, wow. Well, because I think Zested has realized that they just have so much here that Timekey can't possibly attack all of it. And it's in this perfect circle around Timekey's army, ready to just collapse on it if Timekey goes in. The only thing that can be done is Timekey needs to attack, or create a defensive position, or do something. But Timekey has to do something, or they're just going to get choked. This is what I mean, though. This is why Zested is so good. Oh! What? What? Timekey has no fear. Just attacking into Archer, Commander, Knight, Dragon with their Commander. It's going to give them groove, but I don't know about this. And the pike goes in. I mean, this is some great damage, but wow. Wow, that's risky. Oh, and gets the dragon with the mage! Nice! And still, using a 3 sword to protect your commander is questionable. I mean, why not use a full health sword to protect your commander? Alright, the dog lives. That seemed pretty likely, yeah. Timekey's just doing work now. Timekey's just like, all right, I got to attack everything I can. This is that kind of situation. I need damage to be done here. I need damage to be done. I'm losing territory. I gotta do some damage. And damage was done. The wagon went down. That's gonna strand Greenfinger a little bit, force him into fights that he might not want to take. We might even see this mage go for this pike. That's not bad here. You want to do as much damage as you can. Maybe this dog, actually, because this dog can also hit the pike. I keep throwing away mages. You should probably save the mage, because, yeah, there's no other anti-air. Well, these are anti-air, actually. Alright, dog goes in, hits this pike, does some damage. That dog's going down, but that's okay. We could see, like, swords take out this sword now, yeah. Probably then that, and then that. Yup. And then this dog goes in, I bet. I wonder if the timer is actually going to start affecting the players now. They're playing really fast. They have 3 minutes a turn. 3 minutes a turn is very reasonable for players of this skill. It's very reasonable. You should be able to do a lot in 3 minutes, but you can't do big calcs in 3 minutes. That's the one thing you can't do. Like, you can't do a really, really big calculation. Alright, so Timekey decided not to attack the pike. With this many harpies, I kind of would have gone for it, personally, just to damage them a little bit more, but I think Timekey might have made the right decision, because the more you overextend, the more you give your opponent the ability to attack you from safety while retreating. Now, if, you know, Zested wants to attack, they'll have to kind of, like, commit a little bit more. But still, and although Timekey couldn't see this, it does mean that a pike chain can just kill this knight outright, which is pretty bad. Which is pretty bad. I think Timekey was willing to sacrifice the knight, though, for this play. Big damage on the mage. Almost ran out of time. RNG giveth, RNG taketh away. Alright, yeah. Timekey was saying that they were running out of time. So that's sort of why they made the plays they did. They were short on time, I think. Yep, knight goes down. It does mean this harpy is invincible now, because there's no way to hit it anymore. So that's a really good defensive mainstay. Timekey justifying those harpies, for sure. More dragons coming in. Maybe Timekey was right to protect the mage. With all these dragons, wow. Like, this is a fight for the win. Like, this is a battle for the win. Zested just has too much control, too much money. You know, the game has to end. Hey, Mastro, how are you doing? Big damage coming out from Zested. Big damage. Just attacking everything. This is one of those fights where, like, building proper formations has gone out the window, and you're just attacking everything you can, trying to get every little bit of advantage. I hope Timekey has calculated their pike moves, because those are going to be critical now. You really want to make the most of your pikes. Oh, and the dragon heals! I love that. That's actually probably the right decision, because the dragons, you know, if you build something from these barracks, it's going to take a while to get here. But keeping the dragon healthy means you have an attacker that's ready to go and can take out a knight, take out a pike. It's really, really valuable. Especially because Zested has more economy. They can make plays like that. They can just keep their units healthy. Oh, wow. This is a really solid fight. And Vesper does have Groove, so we could see that used as a stronghold threat, as a commander assassination, or just as a flex. Like, Timekey could attack a bunch of units, make his army invincible in front of the stronghold, and force Zested to defend in a really bad way. Greenfinger ran away. Like, Greenfinger just ran away from this. Was like, no, I'm not touching this. So much respect for Vesper Groove and the army here. All right, so this is the critical turn. This is the turn that will win or lose the game for Timekey right now. Timekey has to play this well. They have to play this really well. Because they need to take this turn to either reclaim these villages or attack the stronghold or both. If they don't do that, they're just going to keep falling behind. They're going to lose the war of attrition. But I think Timekey can do it. Timekey has been playing this pretty well. They've been playing very solid. Zested had to retreat a little bit last turn. They just have to be careful of this road, right? Because anything on the road dies to the dragon. This is the dragon will murder you zone. Do not stand. Oh! Takes out the mage! What? So good! That was so well played. That was so well played. Without that mage, these harpies are just demons. I didn't think Timekey was going to see that. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it... Oh, wow. And now there's a dog crit on this sword. Timekey is just gaining control of the south of the stronghold. If... this is a little risky. Timekey has to move their whole army down here now. If they keep Vesper up here, well, their army's down here, Vesper's going to die. Oh! They found the knight and got the harpy hit on the knight. This is so big. This is so big. Oh, the mage is not standing in a really good place. Actually, that's pretty bad because the dragons can tear that up. But still, that's devastating. And we might even see Vesper just protect this with Groove. Like, legit, we might see Vesper just drop Groove on this to make the mage invincible. Oh, wow. This is such a big play. This is such a big play. No one would have thought at the beginning of this game it would end up like this. This is ridiculous. This is amazing. I don't even know what's happening. This is so... Alright, there it is. Vesper full retreated, respecting the dragons, respecting the pressure, full retreat, and made this invincible. And even smoked these tiles here, just making this epic night threat on the HQ so big. Timekey is playing to win. I said this was the critical turn. I said this is the critical turn, and Timekey impressed me. Timekey attacked in a way that I don't even think I could have done. I don't think anyone could have done. This is amazing. This was such a good attack. And the best part is, Zested can't even see it anymore. Zested can't see the majority of this attack anymore. They can only see the front of it and be like, oh, what do I do? This mage is invincible. Nothing can touch this mage because it's under smoke. This is so good. Sedchun! Oh, how you been, Sedchun? We got Sedchun in the chat. Let's go. So many big names dropping in the chat today. We have Barrett RTS just casually dropping the sip emote. We got Mastro, Sedchun. They're so big. Oh my goodness. All right. Back to the game. So, what does Zested do? I don't know, and they don't have a lot of time to figure it out. These units are attackable, and it looks like Zested has decided to, well, attack them. Just using the archer to poke into this pike. Oh my god, I'm so excited I can barely speak. I thought Zested won this game, like, I don't know, 5 turns ago. And Timekey just pulled off this amazing attack. Really showcasing the power of Fog right here. Oh, this is such a good game. This is such a hype game. The dragons might have to just be defenders. Like, if the dragons act as defenders, you're going to lose at least one of them, but your stronghold might get to live. I don't know what else you do. Put the thief in the forest? Maybe? Like, Zested just doesn't have an army anymore. Like, are you see? Remember that big army that was here? Notice how it's gone now? Timekey destroyed the entire south flank. It's gone. It's just gone. All Zested has is the north flank. That's it. And Zested can't even see what's there. Alright, so Zested chooses to put a sword in front of the stronghold, not a dragon. That is going to fold like paper, but because the knight is right here, the knight itself will have to attack one of these or move out of the way. So it's sort of stunning the knight a little bit. It drastically reduces what the knight can actually do. Alright, they are using a dragon, but in a very clever way, they put the dragon here to make it very difficult to attack it on 2 sides, and they put the thief here, and a dog behind it. The idea is to make it as impossible as they can to wrap around, right, to wrap around and hit the dragon from 2 sides, opening this square. I still think that a massive attack on the stronghold is very possible this turn. I think this is winning for Timekey. I think even with limited vision, and they should have a ton of vision because it's right next to their units, even limited vision, this should be doable. I think Timekey should be able to win the game from this position, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Timekey will do. I haven't calced everything, but this is it. This is it. This is the winning attack. Even if Timekey can't close the game in the next 2 turns, because I think it'll take 2 turns to kill the stronghold just based on all of this. It should take 2 or 3 turns. Timekey can still retreat, reclaim these villages, and then the game is back on, because they defeated enough of Zested's army. The game is back on, but Greenfinger has Groove, and... No! Why are you retreating away from the... No! Attack! Don't go backwards! Attack! Ah! I want to see an attack! Oh no! Is Timekey retreating? Why retreat? Okay, they're advancing. Alright, good. The Archer Strike is going to weaken this. That can go down now. Alright, good. Timekey has attacked, but I don't know why that balloon went backwards. I don't understand that. That would, I guess, just to get it out of the way? Maybe Timekey is just short on time. Timekey, short on time. That's kind of funny. And so they're just making quick moves. Because it is a little bit hard to do advanced calcs on a 3-minute timer. We did talk about that. Okay, so this dragon can... What? I don't even know what's happening. I think Timekey just decided, you know what? Forget about the stronghold. I'm just going to do as much damage to Zested's army as possible. But that's not the right solution when you're down on economy. Oh, and it wasn't enough. Great doggo crit, though. But you need to take out this dragon. You really need to take out this dragon. Like, the dragon has to go down. Keeping that dragon alive is just epic silliness. Greenfinger is not going to die. Vines are alive. Timekey is risking so much by keeping this fight going. Like, you really have to do something critical. I mean, they're doing enough damage to justify the continued attack. But I think if this dragon doesn't go down to continue the stronghold threat at least, because just the threat of taking the stronghold is forcing Zested to fight in a really silly way. What is happening? Alright. Okay, no, this is fine. Timekey is going for economy. That's okay. Because as long as they stay even on economy, continuing the fight is justified. There's no excuse for that. You had a free dragon! Why would you drop a heal there instead of going for a free dragon? Ah! Attack the dragon! I'm shaking my hands in frustration. No, Timekey has been playing this amazingly well. Don't get me wrong. Timekey has been playing this amazingly well. This is not so much accurate commentary as emotional commentary at this point. Timekey has been doing amazing. But I would have gone for the dragon. Unless Timekey legitimately thought, because they couldn't see up here, that there was lethal threat on their commander. And maybe there was. But I don't know. I wouldn't have put the commander there in the first place. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough. Time crunch. Okay. Timekey just posted in chat saying time crunch. That gives us an idea of what was going on. 3 minutes is a lot to calculate. So they were in a bit of a tough position. It looks like Zested is trying for some kind of lethal now. It's kind of funny that Zested, who was like just leading the game this whole time, is now a little bit fearful and on the back foot. I don't like retreating to attack this army and resecure this village. I think that was a bit of a mistake. I think Timekey should have removed the dragon, doubled down on the stronghold, forced Greenfinger to walk over here. I think this just gave Greenfinger free targets to attack while securing hesitant villages, and Timekey should have just attacked the stronghold. Like, I get it. It was, given what they could see, it wasn't a terrible play. But keeping that dragon alive is so bad, because now the Harpy goes down. Yeah. I think Timekey could have done that turn better. Not just because of the time pressure. I think their overall decision not to attack the dragon was a mistake. With Harpy Mage, they could have killed it. They could have put something on that forest. They could have attacked the other position and put something here and forced Greenfinger to attack those squares. I think that would have been better. That just would have been more devastating. And now Timekey's army is just getting torn apart by the dragons, which wouldn't exist if they had been taken out, or if at least one of them had been taken out. Yeah. Still. No one's pulling a Timekey. This is. I think Timekey had an epic attack, but that turn they should not have backed off. They should have continued the attack, removed the dragon, and sort of pull to the south where they had destroyed the army. I think that would have been much safer. I think that would have been a much bigger threat. I think it would have kept endgame threats on the board for Timekey and not put their army in this really awkward position that they're now in, where they can't really play the game anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, this is Fog. You never know what's going to happen. I thought this game was over. I thought this game was over, like, turn frickin' 5 or something. I thought Zested had just won. And then it looked like Timekey had a guaranteed win. And then they walked away. I don't even know who's going to win this anymore. And Timekey does have a golem. Like, Timekey does have a golem, which is another reason to have killed the dragon, because then the golem would have been more secure. But anyway. Okay, so big damage coming out here. Timekey is doing big damage. I just don't know if it's justified to be doing big damage in this position, because there are twin dragons. That's the thing. When there are twin dragons facing you down, you kind of need to start respecting it a little bit. And all your harpies disappeared. Like, just, yeah, I don't like that last turn. I think Timekey made a mistake last turn, but I will stop talking about it because we're on to this turn. Alright, so Timekey has exposed one of the dragons and got a really good hit on it. Very nice. They've got lots of anti-air in the back. They have mages flowing in, which, so they're ready to deal with the dragons. I guess my concern now is Timekey's commander dead? I don't think so. Okay, yeah, that balloon was very necessary. I think that balloon was very necessary. But even so, Timekey just doesn't have enough gold to justify this attack. Like, we can't see the economy, but I can tell you what the economic situation is. Zested has 1, 2, 3, so that's a plus 600 lead, right? And Timekey took away this village, so it's plus 400. And then this village was, I think, eventually captured. I don't think it was ever captured. So Zested is 300 gold ahead every turn, meaning Timekey has to kill 300 extra gold of units to justify continuing this fight. That is a big ask to justify continuing this fight. And I don't think Timekey has been killing 300 gold extra of units lately. But there's a bunch of mages coming in. Those could be pretty good. I think that this knight is going to die, and Timekey is going to need some more of those, but who knows? Like, Zested's army is looking pretty thin, too. And, you know, Zested built a balloon, and a witch, which is going to get torn apart by this army of mages. You know, the dragons don't do much to this army of mages. So Timekey's unit comp is really good, as long as he can keep something alive to take out knights. There's so much going on here. So much going on here. Alright, so once again, Zested just takes the dragon back to heal it, which continues to be the right move. By keeping the dragons alive and healthy, they can continue to destroy stuff and continue to act on the front lines, which is even more important now that Zested's army is a lot thinner. However, I don't know what Zested does, because this balloon is invincible. I mean, in order to kill it, you have to move Greenfinger out of the way and send in your witch. And Zested can see a bunch of mages and doesn't know whether or not there's one here to just kill the witch. Honestly, I've forgotten. There might even be one here to kill the witch. I don't think there is, but I don't even remember anymore. Wow. Alright, yeah, that confirms the balloon's not going to die, though. Oh, the witch just face checks. Never mind. No fear. The witch has 0 fear. It's just like, yeah, I could go down, but I'm going to hex here anyway. And again, this is the right decision. This is the correct decision from Zested. Zested is up on economy, losing this fight. They need to convert gold into winning this fight. And that's what they're doing to the best of their ability. They're trying to convert gold into winning this fight. All right, with all this free vision they're getting from the dog, the vines, they sort of realize that maybe there's not a mage that can kill this witch. Again, I don't remember. I don't think there is, but who knows. That mage is going to go down to a dog. I mean, that's just going to happen. There's 0 question. But then it becomes a question of, is this enough? I mean, I think Zested has some counterattack potential here, for sure. Timekey. Timekey has some counterattack potential here, for sure. They can definitely do something. There's definitely something they can do. But is it going to be enough? Like, it's just this constant duel of, can I kill you? Can you kill me? One thing that's really important here is that if there is a mage that can hit this witch, Greenfinger is dead. Well, if Timekey can calc it in time. Yeah, but it is very possible that Greenfinger goes down here. There is enough damage on the... Okay, there's no mage. Yeah. If that witch was deadable... No! It's possible. It's possible. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. I'm doing some quick math. I think Greenfinger is dead if Timekey can figure it out. Hold on. Hold the phone. Yeah, I think there's lethal here. Math. Quick math. Maybe? What's 62% of 100? I'm doing some math here. Hold on. Multiplied by 0.62. Alright, yeah, no, it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't think it's enough. I was gonna say double heal the mage, hit the witch, but it's not enough, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Depending on your point of view. Oh, but the witch X, maybe? If it's a high roll? I don't know. I don't think they're going for it anyway. It would be silly. It'd be silly. All right, I think Greenfinger is safe. I think it would cost too much craziness to try to kill Greenfinger under the circumstances. Timekey is doing a whole lot of nothing this turn. Just kind of attacking vines and confusing me. Yeah, I mean, like, that balloon is a free pickoff for this witch. Sorry, for this mage. Interesting heal. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Timekey is not doing anything this turn. They're just trying to get a good position, which I respect. But you need, if you're gonna play like this, if you're gonna say, hey opponent, attack me, you actually need to have a defensible position. And I don't know if this is defensible. It looks like Zested can just attack into this. And even if, like, everything dies in the counterattack, I don't see where Timekey goes from there. Like, I don't know. This looks a little weak. I don't know if Timekey could have done better, but once again, and of course Timekey doesn't have vision, so they don't know this, but I feel like Timekey should be pushing towards the south a little bit more. Try to force Greenfinger out of this choke. Ooh, really nice pike pick off there. That was really nice. But try to force Greenfinger out of this choke and into the open where they can, like, become more vulnerable. Ooh, I like this. Timekey finally put the knight on the right square to take this village. So Timekey might be pushing for this village. Okay, that's good. That's good. This suggests that Timekey is playing for the late game now. Timekey is playing for the late game. They finally set up a knight crit on this village, which is the thing I said they should do on, like, what was it, turn 8, 7? I don't remember. But they're doing it now. So they will be able to take this village back and then start getting the economy back. So that even if they don't win the game off of this fight, we still have a game at least. Incredibly, Zested never, ever took this village. Alright, so Zested has enough vision to realize there's at least one other mage here. Something in this forest, they can't see what it is yet. But knowing Zested, a dog is going to sniff it out eventually. I'm annoyed that Timekey didn't kill this balloon. I think that was a big mistake. I think Timekey should have killed the balloon. The reason is, you would have lost the mage. Maybe. but you still have to sacrifice that mage later, and now the balloon can annoy your position. Like, just, that was a mistake. I think that was just blatantly a mistake. Timekey should have attacked the balloon. I don't know if they're trying to bait in Greenfinger and go for, like, a trap kill or something. Maybe, but I would have attacked the balloon. I 100% would have attacked the balloon, and I maintain you should have attacked the balloon. Saying max of 80 on Ko. Oh, yeah, so, if you hexed the witch, healed the mage, killed the witch, and then attacked with Suicides, Vesper, and Golem, I was trying to see if that could kill Greenfinger, potentially, but I think I eventually said it didn't work because you couldn't do enough damage to the witch. The witch lives most of the time, and even if you killed the witch, you wouldn't have enough heals to make the Suicides and the Vesper and the Golem work. So yeah, I don't think there was lethal. That's what I said at the end. The answer to that question. Yeah, you see, Zested is playing this right. Just throw your mage immediately into the balloon. It's just the right thing to do. Alright, so this is not great for a number of reasons. Zested is back to playing attrition, which is exactly where they want to be. They want to play attrition. They want to force Timekey out. And Timekey does not have a great attack. They can't really get to the dragons, right? But still, and although Timekey can't possibly know this, Zested's army is very thin right now. An attack is possible. This is one of those situations where you just need to kind of have a count in your head and realize 40 mage doesn't kill 90 witch. No, I was thinking 60 mage. There were multiple heals. Well, unless I miscounted. But yeah, the 60 mage doesn't kill 90 witch either. Apparently. I thought it would do more, but it just doesn't. It's like 83 or something. Alright, so this is an awkward turn. It's awkward because Timekey can attack, but might not know that they can. Oh, they're doing it. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, you should definitely be able to kill that dragon. Like, not hurt the dragon. That dragon should go down. If Timekey plays this correctly, that dragon will be deleted by the end of this attack, which is very important because those two dragons have been the main thing stopping Timekey. Good. Now, do you use the mage or the witch? The mage is the correct choice. And the archer finishes, but this is the part I haven't calced yet. I'm not sure what order things happen in. Okay. Ooh, really nice hit. Really nice use of the sword to take out that dog. Mage heals the archer. Good. And now Timekey's thinking, do I really kill the dragon or do I go for the mage? And no, they went for the mage. I knew it was going to happen. But you need to, you're just going to keep healing the dragons. Maybe Timekey's good with that. I don't know. Timekey has an army of mages. Maybe they're like, okay, I don't care if you heal the dragons. The problem is the dragon can convert money into golem damage. It's just, I get it, though. I get it. I can't honestly say it was definitively the wrong decision. Like, I was looking at the board, and honestly, I was thinking to myself, maybe kill a mage instead. But why kill that mage? You could have attacked this one. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm not the players. I don't have to deal with the consequences. But it does mean that the dragon gets to live and be healed. Yet again. Ay. Alright, so because it's fog, they don't show us the economy, so I have to do a little bit of quick math every time I want to tell you who's winning. Timekey has 1, 2, 3 enemy villages decapped. Meanwhile, Zested has 1, 2, and owns 2 of them. So Zested is still winning on economy. I would have used the archer to finish the dragon. It's just having that dragon still alive frustrates me. It just frustrates me. We see some good damage coming in on that mage. Of course, that was going to drop. Greenfinger has a very bold choice to make. Does Greenfinger walk in and attack, or try not to die? Those are the questions. Yeah, and we're starting to see the knights coming in, which will just tear through Timekey's mages. That's why Timekey's been building those pikes. Timekey really, really, really needs to get those pikes to the front line as quick as possible. Meanwhile, Zested is just happily ballooning units in front of the stronghold. Like, there's no threat on the stronghold. This stronghold is safe now. Zested has defended it. It's just a question of whether or not Timekey can retake the south villages before losing this fight. If Timekey can sweep the south before this falls, Timekey will have an advantage. I want to be clear about that. Timekey can get an advantage here. Second Vesper Groove charged. Yeah. We're seeing multiple grooves. What I like about this is Zested is respecting a non-existent threat on the stronghold. It's because Zested just does not know what is here. And is like, oh, there could be a knight here, threatening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crit. I should defend this tile in case the golem and something kills this dog and the golem gets there and hits the stronghold. And honestly, looking at it, the threat is not so non-existent. I mean, I think it's totally defensible if Timekey threw the golem into the forest, but still, I could see a forest golem being a big threat to that stronghold if, for example, you throw this mage into that dragon and then follow it up with a night strike from here. That's GG, that's game. Like, Zested cannot see if there is a knight here. If there's a knight here, even with everything Zested's done, the game is over. If there's a knight here, it's GG. Boom. Done. Like, you just remove a dog, remove this, golem. Well, you'd have to have enough to remove this, I guess. That's a little bit less trivial than I was making it out to be. But, still. Wow. Didn't hesitate. Within the first 3 seconds, Timekey's like, charge! The really sad part about this is because the pike moved there, now this can't kill that. Wonk. Oh well. Really great use of this sword, both to decap the village and act as a kind of wall there. Oh. Oh, and Timekey goes for it. Yeah, but that's not where you wanted to put the golem. You wanted to put the golem here, not here. Still, this is a good attack. And Vesper has Groove, which makes it a game-winning attack. What am I saying? The game is over. The game is over. What am I saying? Timekey is won. Timekey is won. Hold on. Yeah, Vesper has Groove. This is GG, isn't it? Isn't this just GG? No. Technically, there are things that can happen. I think this strike is 50. Yeah, Timekey can still mess this up. It is still possible to mess this up, but let me put it this way. Timekey should win this game. Timekey should win this game at this point. Wow. I was just saying defending a non-existent threat to the stronghold. And then, like, I didn't realize Vesper had Groove. That was the thing. I didn't realize Vesper had Groove. Oh, wow, that's GG. Just stand here, Groove. Yup, there it is. You can't stop this. Okay. It is technically not GG. Technically, it is possible that it doesn't go down next turn. It is possible. It might not be over. I've been saying it's over so many times. It might not be over. Because this does an average of 50 damage. It could low roll. This does not do 10 damage. It could high roll. The stronghold will probably live Golem Archer. If Zested can stop any other tile from being attacked on the stronghold and drive off Timekey, or kill Vesper, which is impossible, it can be held. But I don't think this is... I don't think you can do it. I don't think there's anything you can do. Like, if you were to try to defend this, you'd have to put something invincible in this tile. right? So how could you theoretically? Yeah, no, Zested wasn't even gonna try. Zested was like, yeah, no, GG, take it, just take it. Zested just ended their turn. It's sort of like the respectful surrender. It's like when you know you've lost, but you want to give your opponent, the joy of ending it, and you just end your turn. You're not required to do that, by the way. GG. Oh yeah, didn't even need to clear it. Didn't even need to clear it. Got enough damage. Got enough damage. Wow. Good game. Good